Imagine waking up one morning in 2026 and realizing that the AI conversation has completely flipped. Not because the technology suddenly stopped improving, but because people did. The excitement, the hype, the blind optimism we saw in 2024 and 2025, that's fading fast. And what's replacing it might surprise you. AI in 2026 isn't just about smarter models or cooler demos. It's about backlash, power shifts, economic pressure, and a growing divide between what AI companies promise and what everyday people actually feel. So in this video, I want to walk you through my top predictions for where AI is really headed in 2026 and why this next phase could be more chaotic, more political, and more consequential than anything we've seen so far. Let's start with the elephant in the room, AI backlash. And I genuinely believe this is going to dominate public conversation in 2026. If you're watching content like this, you're probably part of a relatively small group that actively follows AI developments, model releases, and technical progress. Most people don't. They just experience the side effects, higher prices, confusing features forced into products they never asked for, headlines about job losses, bigger electricity bills, and a constant drumbeat of AI will fix everything messaging that rarely matches their lived reality. For the average person, AI doesn't feel empowering. It feels intrusive. And that sentiment is reaching a tipping point. Over the past year, we've seen a steady rise in articles, posts, and viral takes, framing AI not as a tool, but as a threat. The consistent theme is simple. Beyond basic chatbots, most people don't feel like AI is making their lives better. Instead, they're absorbing second and third order consequences they didn't sign up for. One post I saw summed this up perfectly. The argument was that backlash will peak in 2026 because people associate AI with rising hardware costs, chip shortages, massive corporate spending, and increased energy demand. There's anxiety around whether this whole thing is a bubble. People are exhausted by overpromising hearing that AI will solve everything, only to watch it fail in very visible, very human ways. And then there's the forced integration. AI assistants everywhere, co-pilots baked into operating systems, features no one asked for but can't turn off. The deeper issue, though, is jobs. When AI starts replacing work at scale and there's no clear, immediate benefit for the people losing those jobs, the social contract breaks down. That's when anger turns into resistance. That's when protests, policy pressure, and political opportunism show up. And that's why 2026 matters so much. We're already seeing public figures, creators, and even tech educators openly push back, not because they hate technology, but because they don't trust how it's being deployed. Some CEOs have suggested companies should voluntarily reinvest profits to retrain workers, just to soften the blow. Others argue this isn't a private sector problem at all, that governments are going to be forced to step in whether they like it or not. And here's the part people underestimate. AI backlash isn't just cultural, it's political. When politicians realize that even mentioning AI hurts their approval ratings, policy follows perception. We're already seeing lawmakers hesitate, not because they don't understand the strategic importance of AI, but because their voters are scared. They associate AI with layoffs and higher bills, not productivity and growth. That creates a dangerous situation. If one country slows down because AI becomes politically unpopular, others won't. And that imbalance has real economic and national security implications. The irony is that many of the fears driving backlash are exaggerated or misattributed, but perception is reality when it comes to public opinion. Which leads to a critical question for 2026. Does AI backlash get so intense that it actually makes AI a bad investment for some companies? Not technically, but reputationally. We've already seen early warning signs. Brands experimenting with fully AI-generated ads only to pull them after public backlash, because audiences found them cheap, uncanny, or outright embarrassing. And brand damage is expensive. It takes years to build trust, and minutes to lose it. If companies start realizing that aggressive AI adoption hurts their image and lowers sales, they'll slow down not because AI doesn't work, but because the market rejects it. And that shift sets up the next big trend. Humans are about to become premium again. In a world flooded with synthetic content, human-made work starts to feel rare, valuable, luxurious, even. We're already seeing brands explicitly advertise that no AI was used in their creative process, and people love it. What used to be assumed is now a selling point. Authenticity becomes currency. This doesn't mean AI disappears. It means how it's used changes. Instead of replacing humans everywhere, companies become more selective. In some cases, choosing people over machines isn't about quality, it's about trust. Even if a human-produced result is slower or technically inferior, it feels real. And in 2026, that feeling matters more than most executives expect. This shift also feeds into another major prediction, a blue-collar revival. As AI aggressively targets white-collar, digital, and knowledge-based work, physical and infrastructure-heavy jobs suddenly look more resilient and more valuable. Data centers don't build themselves. Power grids don't upgrade automatically. AI infrastructure needs electricians, construction crews, technicians, and operators. College ROI is already being questioned, job security is being reevaluated, and the stigma around blue-collar work is fading fast. In fact, many of these roles may end up being enhanced by AI rather than replaced by it. Tools that help diagnose problems faster, plan repairs, or reduce error rates don't eliminate the worker, they amplify them. Ironically, AI may make certain hands-on jobs more productive, more profitable, and more attractive than many office roles that are easier to automate. Now, let's talk about power specifically. Who's winning the AI race in 2026? And my prediction here might upset some people. Google is going to surprise everyone. Not because others are failing, but because Google's advantage isn't just model intelligence. It's integration, distribution, infrastructure. Google controls every layer of the AI stack, from custom chips to global platforms. That vertical integration lets them deploy AI faster, cheaper, and more broadly than companies that rely on partnerships and third-party hardware. While other players focus on single breakout products, Google is quietly embedding AI everywhere. Search, Android, productivity tools, education, cloud services. And when AI becomes invisible, just part of how things work, that's when it truly scales. This sets the stage for one of the most important technical shifts coming next, continual learning. Today's models are mostly frozen at release. They don't truly evolve without expensive retraining. Continual learning changes that. It's the ability for AI systems to update knowledge and behavior over time without catastrophic forgetting. This is how humans learn. And if AI cracks this problem, everything accelerates. Development costs drop, capabilities compound, models stop feeling stale. Research from multiple labs suggests this isn't science fiction anymore, it's an active focus area, with real progress happening now. By 2026, we'll likely see early deployments where AI systems improve continuously, adapting to new information instead of waiting for the next big version release. That alone could reshape enterprise adoption. Alongside this, AI agents are finally going to start doing real work. Not novelty tasks, not demos, actual economically valuable labor. Companies have realized that consumer use cases are saturated. The real money is in enterprise productivity, automation, and task execution at scale. As models get better at long context reasoning, planning, and coordination, agents stop being toys and start becoming infrastructure. And once that happens, the impact on knowledge work will feel sudden even if the progress was gradual. Finally, we get to the most sci-fi part of all: world models, virtual environments, and robotics. AI systems that understand and simulate the world, not just text, unlock entirely new capabilities. When agents can reason inside persistent virtual environments, those skills transfer, first to simulations, then to physical machines. That's why robotics could have its breakout moment in 2026. Not because robots suddenly look cooler, but because the intelligence behind them finally catches up. Fully autonomous demos in real-world settings will go viral. Not staged, not scripted, real. And when that happens, the conversation around AI shifts again, because at that point, it's no longer abstract. So 2026 won't just be about better models. It'll be about trust, backlash, power consolidation, and a growing realization that progress isn't just technical, it's social. AI will keep advancing. The question is whether society moves with it or pushes back hard enough to change its trajectory. And that's what makes the next year so fascinating.